So you're a high school athlete and you're looking for that edge, right? The secret isn't just grinding harder. It's about recovering smarter. In this explainer, we're going to build a super simple, actionable blueprint to help you master recovery, stay off the sidelines, and really unlock your true potential. Let's get into it.
Okay, first things first. Let's get something straight about what recovery even means. It's not just about being a couch potato. Think of it as a skill you can actually train, your ability to bounce back from all the stress of practice, games, school, everything. The faster you can bounce back, well, that's a direct measure of how ready you are to go out and dominate.
And it all boils down to this super simple equation. Stress plus recovery equals growth. See, the stress from your training is the signal that tells your body it needs to get better. But the actual growth, getting faster, getting stronger, that only happens when you recover. If you skip that part, you're not getting better, you're just getting tired. This is the key to everything else we're going to talk about.
That leads us straight to the absolute foundation of your performance pyramid: sleep. And I mean, this isn't a luxury or something you do if you have time. It is a non-negotiable performance weapon. If you're serious about your sport, you got to get serious about your sleep, period. So let me ask you a question. With all the stuff that can happen in sports, all the variables, what do you think is the single biggest thing that predicts whether a young athlete gets injured? Is it how many hours they train, the sport they play? The answer is probably not what you think.
Okay, check this out, because this is where it gets kind of crazy. Look at the numbers here. If an athlete gets 9 hours of sleep, their injury risk is about 18%. At 8 hours, it doubles to 35%. But look at that massive jump for athletes getting less than 8 hours. Your injury risk skyrockets to almost 70%. You don't even need the numbers. Just look at how huge that first bar is.
Let's just put that number front and center so it really sinks in. 1.7 times more likely to get hurt. That's not a small difference. That is the difference between playing for a championship and watching your team from the bench with an injury that could have been prevented. It's that big a deal.
So how do we fix it? It's actually pretty simple. Here are 3 things you can start doing tonight. First, anchor your schedule. Try to go to bed and wake up around the same time every day. Yeah, even on weekends. Second, control your environment. Turn your room into a sleep cave. Make it cool, dark, and quiet. And you have to get off your phone at least an hour before bed. Finally, build a wind-down ritual. Read a book, journal, meditate. Just something to tell your body, hey, it's time to shut down.
All right, once you've got your sleep dialed in, we can build on that. Let's talk about the second pillar, fueling your body. And this isn't just about eating food. It's about building smart, consistent habits that are going to support you day after day.
Let's make this super simple. Carbohydrates, that's the gas in your tank. It's your main fuel for high-intensity work. Protein, that's the construction crew that comes in to repair and rebuild your muscles after you've broken them down. And healthy fats, you need those for your long-term energy and, really important, for hormone production. It's all about getting the right balance.
Now, before we even talk about supplements, we have to get this golden rule straight. Food first, always. Your body is built to get what it needs from real, whole foods. You know, chicken, rice, fruits, veggies. Supplements are just that. They supplement a great diet. They should never, ever replace one.
Which of course brings us to the million-dollar question that every young athlete is thinking about. You walk into a store, you go online, and there are powders and pills and drinks everywhere. How in the world do you know what you should be taking, if anything?
Here is a dead simple 4-step guide to help you decide. Step 1. Be honest. Is your foundation solid? Are you sleeping enough and eating well? If not, start there. 2. Is the product third-party tested? Look for a seal like NSF certified for sport. That means what's on the label is actually in the bottle. 3. Is it food-like a protein powder? Or is it a high-risk stimulant, like a lot of pre-workouts? Stick to the boring stuff. And 4, and this is a big one, have you talked to an expert, a doctor, a dietitian, your parents? Don't just guess.
Okay, so we've built the foundation with sleep and put fuel in the engine with nutrition. Now it's time for the tune-up. Let's talk about mobility. Think of this like the daily maintenance on your car. It keeps the engine running smooth and prevents all those little breakdowns and nagging injuries.
And we're going to focus on what we call the core 4, your ankles, hips, spine, and shoulders. Why these 4? Well, because pretty much everything you do in any sport, running, jumping, throwing, swinging, it all runs through these 4 major joints. If they're moving well, you're going to perform well and stay healthy. It only takes a few minutes. And here's exactly how you can do it.
This table lays out a clear path for you. You can start with the super simple beginner stuff like ankle pumps or a cat-camel stretch. Then, as you start feeling better and moving better, you can work your way up to the more advanced exercises. It's a simple routine you can literally do anywhere.
So now we've got all the pieces, right? Sleep, nutrition, and mobility. The final and maybe the most important step is to actually put it all together and build your own personal blueprint for success. This is where we turn all this info into real action.
And the whole thing comes down to this one powerful idea: brilliance in the basics. You know, the best athletes in the world aren't doing some secret magical workouts. They are just absolutely masterful at doing the simple, fundamental things right every single day.
And this slide shows you exactly what that looks like. On the left, you've got a vague plan. Wake up, eat, work out. That's what most people do. But on the right, that's a blueprint. See the difference? It has specific times for a healthy breakfast. It schedules in mobility. It plans a night routine. It takes the guesswork out of it. This level of detail is what separates the good from the great. So, I'll just leave you with this one final thought. Right now, somewhere out there, your biggest rival, your toughest opponent, they're putting in the work. They're sleeping right, fueling right, and taking care of their body to get that edge. The only question left is, are you?